parents to your virtual AAC training for your child's AAC device. My name is Brigid Peterson, and I am the Assistive Technology Specialist for the district. My contact information is here on this page. If you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help you troubleshoot or work through something you might want to do with the AAC device. We can always set up a Zoom meeting to work together face-to-face. Once you have completed this training, we will schedule a follow-up meeting where I can answer any questions you have, practice some modeling together, and practice making edits to a couple of buttons. I'm here to help, so feel free to ask me anything. Here's the agenda for this training. We're going to go over how the device is set up, our ultimate goal, which is called Snug, how to use the device at home, and what you can do to help your child learn to use the device to communicate. We're also going to look at guided access and editing within the TouchChat app. The TouchChat WordPower vocabulary is built around the concept of core words. Core words make up 85% of what we say and are not context specific, meaning I can say them just about anywhere in any situation. Many of these words are also considered sight words for early readers and are also taught in class. Fringe words are situation-specific and composed mostly of nouns. Things like animals, names of the planets, foods, and toys are all fringe vocabulary. Personal core are words that we add to the device that are specific to your child, things that he or she loves and that they love to talk about. These can be people, toys, food, places, or anything else they might be interested in or enjoy. We have a fourth grader at one of our elementary schools who uses an AAC device, and he is a history buff, so he has added vocabulary to his device to be able to talk about the Civil War and Vikings and other topics that are personal core to him. WordPower has some built-in features that make it more intuitive and efficient for students to communicate using the device. For example, it displays the words in an order that would typically allow the child to build their sentence from left to right, just like reading and writing. Parts of speech are color-coded to help find words easier and support language building as the child gets older. Some pages are alphabetized, which can help caregivers and also the child as they get older. There's a QWERTY keyboard to allow for typing of words when they may want to say something, but it's not in their device. There's also a phonetic keyboard that can support students who are learning how to read. Our ultimate goal for all students is SNUG. That stands for Spontaneous Novel Utterance Generation, or in layman's terms, the ability for your child to say whatever they want, to whomever they want, whenever they want. Snug always makes me think of this quote from Friends where Monica says, "Okay, Ben, why don't you come open some more presents, and Santa the Armadillo and I will have a little talk in the kitchen." There's a sentence I never thought I'd say. We want our children to be able to say things that we never thought they'd say. Now we'll start talking about how you can use the device at home to help your child learn to use it to communicate. The best strategy we can use to support a new AAC user is what's called modeling. This short video will give us an idea of what it is and why we do it. ultimately, modeling is using your child's AAC device to talk to them so that they'll eventually use it to talk to us. This is the same idea as speaking to your child in English to have them eventually speak to you in English, or sign language for children we want to eventually communicate through sign language. For example, if you were to say, "We're going to the grocery store today," you're going to say that phrase, and then you're also going to press the word "go" on the communication device at the same time. This graphic here reminds us that we need to speak AAC to teach AAC. We have to provide children who use AAC language input using their AAC system. This will help them learn that they need to use the system to communicate, just like if we wanted them to learn Spanish, French, or sign language. This graphic is a quote that I think speaks to why modeling is so important for our students. Babies have heard 4,380 hours of spoken language by 18 months old, and we don't expect them to be proficient communicators. We've modeled for them for so long before we ever expect anything back. If a student using AAC is only exposed to modeling during speech therapy, it would take 84 years to receive the same amount of modeling. That's why using an AAC device is an all-hands-on-deck intervention. Not only do we need support from the speech-language pathologist, we also need teachers and families on board modeling for students throughout the day, every day. This video shows a mother and her son making cookies together. Mom is modeling using the AAC device while they cook. This family uses a different AAC app than TouchChat, but the principles of modeling are the same regardless of the app.
You make it go?
Go.
Make it go. Yay! Good job, Philip. Do you know what we're going to make?
Make.
What are we going to make?
Make.
Do you know?
No.
You don't know?
No.
That's okay. I'll tell you. We're going to make cookies. Cookies. Do you love cookies? Russell, do you love cookies?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go over here because when we make our cookies, the first thing, look, we're going to go to colors. Colors. Because we're going to put in some brown sugar. Who wants to put in the brown sugar? You do? Okay, Russell's going to put in the brown sugar. Very good. Philip, do you want to put in some sugar? Yes? Okay, let's look over here. There's one more sugar left. Let me show you. Here's the sugar that needs to go back. This is white.
White.
It's white sugar. And let's go to core. You can say, I want to put it in.
As you saw in the video, the mom modeled several different words. She modeled some verbs like make, go, help, and think, some colors for the different sugars that are needed, and pronouns like I and you. She modeled one word at a time while still saying her whole phrase. You'll also notice that she did not require the little boy to do any responding. She was just providing input using the device. Right now we want your child to see you modeling. Don't worry so much about what they're doing, but try and model as much as possible. When you're getting started with AAC at home, the number one thing to remember is model, 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 as many times as you feel comfortable throughout the day. I don't want you to have to think of new activities to do to model, but think about routines and activities you already do and what you might model during those activities. For example, during dinner, you might model put when you're putting things on the table or in a bowl. While you're getting dressed, you might model different colors for the different clothing items your child is wearing. Start by modeling one word in a phrase or sentence that you're saying, and as your child becomes more proficient, you can increase your words from there. A rule of thumb we like to follow at school is model one more word than what the child is doing independently. So since your child's just starting out, you would model one word. Once your child is using the device to say single words, we would start modeling 2 words, and so on. Another great strategy is to get siblings involved. Kids learn best from each other, and involving an older or even younger sibling can be motivating and engaging for your child. In this video, we see the same little guy from the previous video, but here he's playing with his sister, and she is doing the modeling while playing with this stacking toy.
shapes. You see, orange is on the top. Can you press top?
Top.
Good. Now do you see purple is on the bottom? Can you press bottom?
Bottom.
Good. Now it's both up. Let's put purple on the bottom. Can you put it? Now let's put blue on top of the purple one.
This is an easy way to involve the sibling and create a shared activity they can both do. If your child has a favorite toy or activity and you're struggling to think of a core word to model, feel free to send me an email and we can brainstorm together to find some different words you could model during this activity. Here are some ideas for implementing AAC at home. One place to start, and one of my favorite activities, is story time. You have two options during story time. The first is to model a word from the book. So for example, if you were reading the book Brown Bear, you could model the words I, see, me, look. You can pick one word and model throughout the book. You can also model what you're doing with the book. You can model my turn, your turn, turn the page. During mealtime, you can model more. You can model that you don't like something. You can put things on the table. During play, you can model with toys that you already own, like the potato head toy. You could model put in, like. With physical play, you could, like running or tickling, you could model more, stop, my turn, go. I've included links here to the AAC coach files. She's an SLP who's created visuals of different words that can be modeled in common activities that many families do. She has these resources made in English, Spanish, Dutch, Italian, and Portuguese. Here is an example of the AAC coach files. She's broken down different ways to support language during playing with bubbles. She has comments, commands, questions, and requesting. She has sheets like this made for many common toys or activities, as well as many family routines like mealtime, bath time, and getting dressed. If you're on social media and would like to connect with some families who use AAC with their children, these are some great ones to check out. I think it's nice to see some other families who are in the thick of it with you. One caveat I'd like to point out is that these families have been using AAC for years, so don't feel you need to be on their level yet. They have all been where you are, just starting out, and they've just been on this journey a little bit longer. We Speak Pod documents the Owens family, who has 3 children who use AAC. They use a low-tech system called a Pod Book, so it's not the same as TouchChat, but she has some great modeling ideas. 2 Techie Mamas have 1 child who uses an AAC device. Hold My Words is a family who has 1 child using AAC, specifically the Speak for Yourself app. And the mom, Kim Rinkin, also homeschools, so she also incorporates information on how she uses the device at school. And then Lots of Comptons is the family from the 2 videos that we've already watched. They have lots of short videos on their YouTube channel to show how to model with the device at home. If you stumble across another great family using AAC on social media, please let me know. I'd love to share with other families. Now we're going to talk about guided access. We use guided access to lock your child into the communication app. Many children have had exposure to an iPad as a leisure tool to access YouTube or other games, but we want to use this iPad solely for communication. If they use this iPad to play games or watch videos, then they don't have access to their voice to talk about those experiences. We also ask that you use guided access at home as well and not allow your child to use this iPad for any leisure activities. Guided access has already been set up on the iPad. To start guided access, you'll simply triple click on the home button and it will start automatically. To end or adjust the settings, you'll triple click again and input the passcode set by the district, which in this case is 200,000. Please do not change this code without consulting with your child's teacher or SLP. This short video will show you how to enable and disable guided access as needed. Once you have your child in the Touch Chat app, to start guided access, you're going to go ahead and triple click on the home button. And because it's already set up, it's just going to pop up and tell you. This short video will show how to enable guided access and disable it as needed. Once you have your child in the Touch Chat app, to start guided access, you're going to go ahead and triple click on the home button. And because it's already set up, it's just going to pop up and tell you that guided access has started. So now if you hit the home button to try to navigate out of this app, you're going to get the message at the top just letting you know that guided access is enabled. If you do want to disable guided access, you're going to again triple click on the home button, and then the enter passcode window will pop up, and you're going to put in your passcode, which is a 2 and then 5 zeros, and then you'll just hit end. Now you're able to navigate out of the Touch Chat app. As you saw there, the guided access prompt pops up after triple clicking on the home button. You didn't see any numbers during my screencast, but when it pops up for you, you'll see a number pad similar to a phone. This video is uploaded to the AT for D205 YouTube channel if you need to go there and just watch this video quickly for a reminder of how to use this feature. Now we'll start discussing the Touch Chat app specifically. First, we're going to watch a video on how to use the Word Finder feature in WordPower 60 Basic, which is the vocabulary that your child will be using. This feature allows you to search for a specific word in the device, and it will show you how to navigate to that word within the pages of the vocabulary. So if you want to find a word, up in the top left-hand corner is a button that says ABC123. You're going to go ahead and touch that. And then down at the bottom, the second button over from the left says Find Word. So you're going to touch on that, and then you'll type in whatever word you're looking for. So let's pretend we're going to look for dog. So I'll type D-O-G, and then I'm going to hit Find. And sometimes it takes a minute. And then it will tell me how to get to that word. So for example, I would go to Groups, Pets, Dog, and if I tap on the first one, it's going to guide me through it. So you'll see the rest of the screen is kind of grayed out, but I can tap Groups, and then Pets, and then Dog. So as you saw in the video, there might be multiple ways to navigate to the word you want. The first choice they offer you is usually the quickest, but sometimes you might just want to look through the list and see. This slide has directions for using the Word Finder feature with the steps written out in case you prefer that. Now we'll start talking about editing. The first thing we'll review is how to turn the editing function on and off in the iPad settings menu. This ensures that your child can't accidentally make edits to the vocabulary. So your child's iPad is likely set up to have the editing function turned off, and the reason that we do this is just so that the students can't inadvertently make some changes. They're really good sometimes at touching buttons, and so they can sometimes accidentally change things that we don't want them to. So typically we like to lock them out of that editing function when they're using it and just turn it on for ourselves when we need it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to go out of the Touch Chat app. If I had guided access on, I would triple click and disable it. And I'm going to go into the settings menu down at the bottom. And you'll see over here on the left-hand side, I can scroll through all my apps, just like on a phone if you have an iPhone. And down at the bottom, we have the Touch Chat app. And you'll see the Allow Editing is grayed out down toward the bottom. But if I touch it, it's going to turn green. And then I'm going to go out of settings and back into the Touch Chat app. And in the yellow bar in between what we call the message window, so the window where the words pop up, and the icons, I now have a button that says vocab and a button that says menu. And menu is where I'm going to access my editing features that we're going to talk about in a minute. So that's how you're going to turn editing on if you want to make some changes to your child's iPad. Once you make any edits that you want, you'll want to go back into the settings menu on the iPad and turn the editing function back off. And then always remember to turn guided access back on before giving the iPad back to your child. The next two slides are written directions for turning the editing feature on and off in the iPad settings menu. Now we'll go over how to edit a button in Touch Chat. Once you've turned on editing within the Touch Chat app, we can go ahead and edit a button. To do this, let's go to the People page to demonstrate. We can do two things. First, we can edit a button that's already there if we want to change the picture or the label, and we can also take a blank button and create a button from scratch. For example, here I have the button that says Grandpa, but if my child calls their grandfather something different, like Papa, I could change that. So I'm going to go to the menu on the top right-hand side and tap the last choice that says Edit Page. Now I have this red bar at the top that tells me I'm in edit mode. I can tap on the Grandpa button and I get this little menu of choices, and I'm going to choose Edit This button. Here I have my editing window that pops up, and I have the different changes I can make to the button. At the top we have button label, which is the text you're going to see in the button on the app. Button message, which is what the message is going to say when you touch that button, and they can be different. We can change the image, we can import a photo, and then we can make some other changes if we scroll down, like the button font or the button color or the button action. For now, it's probably best to stay in these first few choices of changing the label, the message, and the image. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete the Grandpa label, and I'm going to type Papa. You'll see it populates to both the button label and the button message. And then I can hit save, and my label will change. So there we've changed the button label and the button message to Papa, but I can also change the image if I want to. So I'll tap on the button again and hit Edit This button, and I can hit Select an Image. For example, if my child's grandfather maybe has brown hair, I can search for man, and then maybe look for a man that I think looks more appropriate. So I'm going to say that this man looks like my child's grandfather, and I'm going to hit Save. So now we have Papa there. So now we have a new label and a new image. I can also import an image. So I'm going to go to Edit This button one more time, and I'm going to say Import Image. Here I have two options. I can use the camera to take a picture. So if I have the person I want to take a picture of or the object right in front of me, I can go ahead and take that picture. But I can also choose an image from the image library. So if I have shared photos to this iPad or taken photos previously, I can choose them from there. So I'm going to tap Image Library, and the images that I have are going to come up. And I'm going to choose this image here of my grandfather, and then I'll say Use in the top right corner. And then I will say Done, and then I'm going to say Save. You'll see now it's changed from the Symbol Sticks image to the photo that I used. I can also take a blank button and create one from scratch. So for example, if I want to make a button for Aunt Maggie, I can tap on one of these blank buttons, and I'm just going to again say Edit This button, and now I'm going to go in and fill all of the different fields. So I'm going to say Aunt Maggie, and you'll see it fills my button label and my button message, and I want them to be the same, so that's fine. So I'm going to select Image. Aunt Maggie doesn't have anything, but I'm going to go ahead and search woman and find a woman that I think looks like her. So then I'll just scroll through, and I'm going to choose this one and hit Save. So that's how I can either edit a button that's already there or add a new button to our vocabulary. So overall, the editing is fairly simple. Just to note that you can make all the changes to the button at one time before hitting save. I just broke down the steps in this video. And also a reminder that all of these videos are on my YouTube channel individually, so you can always go back and just watch a specific video instead of navigating through this longer video trying to find what you need. The next few slides are written directions for editing a button in Touch Chat. This slide reviews how to turn on the edit page functions in the app. This slide shows the button editing menu, and this slide continues with our editing options for buttons. This slide goes over how to add a photo. I I'd like to review what is an acceptable edit on the device because some things need to stay the same and stay in their current location. Please do not edit any of the icons on the main page or the location of any of the verbs, pronouns, or adjectives on the topic-specific pages. For example, in the foods page, the word eat is in the same location as it is on the front page. The reason for this is that the app is built on an idea called motor planning. This is the idea that the student will learn the location of a word and quickly navigate to it because they've learned the motor plan. This is the same idea as a keyboard where the keys don't change location and you eventually know, after lots of learning and practice, where they are and can use them without looking. Please feel free to edit and add information on the social pages, people pages, foods, toys, or places page. If you don't feel comfortable editing within the device, but you have vocabulary you'd like added, please feel free to send it to me or your child's teacher or SLP, and we can work together to get it added. The last thing I want to review is the district's assistive technology agreement for use of this device at home. This is specifically for students who are issued an additional device or piece of equipment as part of their IEP. What you're agreeing to signing is that you agree to the district internet policy, you understand the iPad is being provided for educational use only, and in this case, use as a communication device only. Again, we specifically ask that you not use this iPad to watch YouTube videos or play any games. We understand that you understand that only apps purchased by the district can be downloaded on the device. We ask that you not use a personal Apple ID to download any apps on the device. We ask that you properly care for the device and inform the district if it's lost or damaged. We ask that you not take it places where the device could easily get damaged, like the beach or the pool. We can work with you to create some low-tech support so your child still has his or her voice in these settings that a device is not appropriate. And last, if the device becomes lost or broken due to negligence, we would ask that the family reimburse the district for the purchase of a new device for the child. We know the devices are going to break, and there are many reasons why something may be broken or lost, and the district would still replace the device in those instances. But if you took the device to the beach and it no longer functions due to water and sand damage, then we would ask you to replace it. I'm sure after all of this, you might have some questions. Please come to your follow-up training with any questions you might have, ideas of 2 to 3 words that you'd like to program in the device, and an idea for one activity at home where you would like to begin modeling. I look forward to helping you get started with your AAC journey, and I can't wait to see your child's communication grow. Thank you.